Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Jyoti Mandala. Welcome you all to the video lecture series on the course operating system. Up to our last lecture, we have understood once the resources, whatever requested by the process is given, is granted, then we have a detection algorithm, whether it can be wait for graph or Banker's algorithm, where these two algorithms will help us to detect whether our system is in deadlock or not. Now, if we detected like our system is in deadlock, then we need to recover our system from the deadlock. For doing that, we have two approaches. These two approaches are called as deadlock recovery approaches. Now, these two approaches are the uh, first approach is process termination, and the second approach is resource preemption. So, first approach, let us understand in detail, that is process termination. Now, in process termination, what happens, as the name itself it is telling, while going through the deadlock detection algorithm, we will be finding out the processes that may lead to deadlock. No, we need to find out the process which leads to deadlock. And once we find the process which leads to deadlock, what we need to do in the first approach, what we can do, we can abort all those processes. Aborting is nothing but forcibly terminating the execution of those process. So if we do like that, then all the resources that are already assigned to those process will be released, and any other process which are waiting can be given to that process. Okay, so in the first process, what we need to do, abort all deadlocked process. But what is the problem with this one is deadlock. What is the problem with this one is, let us consider we have found out three process. Let us consider P1, P2, P3 are creating the deadlock. Okay. Now, this process has completed, let us consider 80% of its execution. And this process has completed, let us consider 85% of its execution. And this process has completed 90% of its execution. And oh, this requires only 10% to complete, but it has created the deadlock because it is requesting for resources which is not able, which it should not, it can't able to get. Got it? So in that case, if these three processes are creating the deadlock, in the first approach, what it is told, we abort all these processes. That means forcefully terminate this execution. But what happened here, as it has completed 80, 85, 90 of percent of their execution, where they might have used some resources. Now, whatever they have used, what happened? They are all of waste, isn't it or not? So, unnecessarily we are wasting the resources. So, the problem with this approach is unnecessary wastage of resources will be there, which leads to expensive. Okay, so it leads to expensive thing. Why? Because we are wasting our resources, and which leads to expensive. This is expensive only. Why? Because to complete this 90%, it has used the resources we have spent for that one, and still because of 10%, it is creating the deadlock, and we are aborting that one also. All right. To solve this problem, what we can do in this second approach of process termination, it is told like abort only one process at one time. Instead of aborting all the processes at one time, which is leading to expensive approach, abort only one process at time, one process. That means you abort one process and then see whether the other process are have come out from the deadlock or not. If still they could not able to come out of the deadlock, abort the second process, like that. Now what happened in this approach is, let us consider P1 has completed 80, P2 has completed 85, let us consider, and P3 has completed 90% of its work, but these three are in deadlock only. Now instead of aborting all three, we need to take a process which has taken less amount of time. Now, like compared to these three. Here P3, P1 has taken less amount of time compared to P2 and P3. So this has to be aborted first. Now this will be releasing some resources that is holding. Now after releasing that resources, there may be a chance like P2 and P3 can complete their execution. So in that case, we are not wasting our resources, and it is not that much expensive than compared to aborting all the resources. I hope you all are understanding. So the lowest priority or lowest execution time, it depends. Sometimes you can go on priority also, whichever process is of less priority. Sometimes this may be of highest priority. Then whichever process is of lowest priority, abort that one. It depends upon your approach. Which has taken less execution time, you can abort that one. Which is of less priority, you can abort that one. So one after the other has to be aborted. So this is the first way of deadlock recovery, which is through process termination. And the second approach is resource preemption. You already heard this word called preemption. Preemption is nothing but for removing the resources from the process. Whichever process is creating the deadlock, we have to forcibly take out the resources from that process. We are not terminating the process, but we are taking out the resources, because earlier what we learned, if process P1 is waiting for another resource P2, okay, and it is holding another resource, it is the reason for creating the deadlock. Now in this approach, in the deadlock recovery, what it is told, forcibly take out the resources from the deadlock resources. We are not terminating the process, but here we need to consider three issues here. Whenever we are terminating the resources from the deadlocked processes, three issues need to be considered. The first issue is selecting the victim. Which process has to be selected? Selecting victim. That means which process has to be selected, okay, so that from that process resources can be removed. Now in that case, we need to select the process which is holding the resources, maximum resources, and it is creating the deadlock. That process will be the victim. Okay. Second approach or second issue we need to talk is rollback. What we need to do is roll back means going back to the beginning of the execution. If we are detecting like there is a deadlock, in that case what we need to do, about all the resources from the deadlocked processes, then you need to go back to the beginning of the execution and start your execution again. This is the rollback. Third issue you need to consider is starvation. There may be a chance like starvation. What happens is, if always the same process has been selected as a victim and its resources are released, it is not getting its chance to get executed, then that process will lead to starvation. Why? Because it is not getting any chance to finish its execution. So this is the disadvantage of finding the victim with a particular approach. So there may be a chance that that process may lead to starvation. So considering these three issues, you can go with resource preemption also if you want to recover from the deadlock, or else the first approach of process termination, where aborting all deadlock process can be done, or aborting one process one by one can also be done. If you don't want to abort the process, go with the resource preemption. Any one of these two approaches can be used to recover from the deadlock if you found your system is in deadlock. I hope you all clear with this deadlock recovery approach. With this, we come to an end of deadlocks concept. I hope you all are clear with the deadlock concept. We have learned about how to prevent what is deadlock prevention, how deadlock can be avoided, and how deadlock can be detected, and how deadlock can be recovered, like how our system can be recovered from the deadlock. I hope all these concepts are clear to you all. With a new concept, let us all meet in the next lecture. Until then, thank you all of you.